Howdy, I'm Jace. Welcome to this Introduction to Sex Addiction course. I am honored to be your facilitator, and I'm so grateful for you spending a little bit of time with me today. I first learned about sex addiction in 2014 when I myself was on the brink of suicide. I deeply hated who I was. I hated my life. I hated how I was treating those around me or allowing them to treat me. I didn't understand what was going on. And most importantly, I thought I was alone. I couldn't do it anymore. I was exhausted. I was lying all the time. Nobody knew me. And to be honest, I was so scared that if they did get to know me, they would hate me too. I was engaged in behaviors that were well outside of my integrity. Not that I even knew what integrity was at the time, but they made me feel awful. They had been getting progressively worse. And then I was at a point where those things I used to do to numb out or to just change my current state, they weren't working anymore. I was isolating all the time and I was fed up with it. I didn't think there was a way out except to kill myself. By the grace of the universe, love, God, higher power, whatever we call that great mystery, I found my way into recovery for sex addiction instead. I learned it was indeed a thing, that these behaviors I was engaging in were tied to something, and that there was a way out. I got sober in 2015, and I have only been growing and thriving ever since. Now, it's fair to note that it is hard to change one's behaviors, one's life, one's mindset. It takes work. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you. What we're going to be talking about today is just the basics. What is sex addiction? What is it not? Where does it come from? What can we do about it? We'll also include a section about partners. Perhaps you are someone who is connected to someone with sex addiction. This is going to be a good informative course for you as well. I'm going to just be straight with y'all. I know that this is hard. I know there's a lot of shame here. There is stigma in this area. There's a lot of misinformation, and we are in a culture that is super weird about sex and sexuality anyway. Now throw uncontrollable behavior into the mix, and it is a hot mess. That's what we're dealing with. There's a whole group of people who don't even think sex addiction is real. It is. It is. If you are engaged in unwanted sexual behavior that you can't stop, that is real. Your experience is real. And believe me, I know your suffering is real. I really am privileged to get to share this time with you. And I admire you for learning more about this to see if this is something you are struggling with and some options on what you can do about it. Wherever you're at, please know you are not alone. This is a really widespread area of addiction. There are millions of people who have experience here. They're just not talking about it. All right? You are not alone. You're not crazy. You're not weird. And you are not hopeless. There absolutely is a path of recovery. There are many of them, of all flavors. There's definitely one for you. The first step to that is education, learning what sex addiction actually is, and determining if that is what you are dealing with. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll let you know, I'm not a therapist. I am not a specialized counselor. I don't work on behalf of a treatment center or a clinic. I am someone with my own experience who's been studying this and working with people for several years. I do that one-on-one as an intuitive guide for self-mastery, and I do that in groups and through online content like this. Gain what you can from the course, leave the rest behind, If something lands with you, great. Trust that, trust yourself. If something doesn't feel like a good fit for you, then just leave it behind. This is a basic course, so we're going to be covering things in general. Not everything will necessarily apply to you. I'm going to meet you with an open heart. You will not find shame here. You might think you've done horrible things. It's possible horrible things have been done to you. We don't do shame here. We don't do judgment. This is something that's going on in the brain, in the body, in the lifestyle, in our relationships. It is pervasive. It's in everything. It's a real bitch. We're going to just lay it out on the table and we're going to be real. That's how we do it here. That's how I roll. I have a ton of respect for you for digging into this area, for the courage it takes to pick up that rock and look underneath it and see if anything is available to you for healing, for thriving. I am really looking forward to our time together. Feel free to jump around if there's content that you want first, but do indeed listen to all of it. There might be something in there that's exactly what you need to hear, that's going to open up that next thing for you. And if need be, watch it a few times. Use this in whatever way is going to be helpful to you. Just know that even if we never talk, even if we never meet, I support you. I am in your corner, and there are a lot of people back there as well who understand what you're going through, who have been there, and who have gotten out of it. We're doing this course with so much love. You're showing up here with courage. I'm going to show up here with love, and that's where I'm going to meet you. Thank you for taking some time. Thank you for the desire to be well and to have a life that you really love. I promise it is possible. I'll see you in there.